that it's time for another coach to take over from him, that he has done the best he could do, that it's time for him to step down. Now, English FA has decided to they'll start looking for another coach because their next match is in September, so they need a new coach before then. We are going to be talking about all that in today's show. What Southgate did, if he did well or if he didn't do well. Some of my guys say like Nonso always say that they need to change coach, they need to change. Now he has resigned, so probably he is happy. Welcome to Vote Sports. My name is Godwin. Remember, we are live on YouTube at Vote FM Sports. As Vote FM Sports, you can join us there. Drop your comments. We'll be reading it live here in the studio, and we'll open our phone line for you to make contributions. You tell us what you think about Southgate and England. Number to call is 0706 048 5853. So welcome to the show, and I'm here with my guys, the A team, the perfect analysts. How are you, John? Good morning.
I'm fine, thank you. Good morning, listeners.
Nonso, how are you?
I'm good.
Okay, let me start with you, Nonso, because you've been campaigning that England needs a new coach. Now he has resigned, so let's look at him in general, Nonso. Do you think that he did a great job with England?
63% win rate, better than the last person that was there. Last person that was there got a 58% win rate, which is good enough. 60% of the chances created were not buried. So which means the score rate, though he wins game, but the chances they create, they don't bury 60% of it, which means they don't score enough goals to win those games, which not really good enough. But with the win rate, and John will say, however, a win is a win, even if you don't bury your chances. So I think for Southgate, he's done a fantastic job. I would not take away that credit from him. He's done a good job as the English manager, but it's high time they look for someone else. But I think I was believing in my chest that they could start now to look for someone else while he's there on the job, because wait now. I believe Big Sam was still on the job when they appointed Southgate. When he came into the ranks, when he had the meetings with the FA and all of that, Big Sam was still on the job when he had a meeting with the FA. And after Big Sam resigned, it was just quick to appoint him, which means he was being around the sphere of the English team, if you understand what I'm saying. So with Sam Allardyce is leaving, it was easy to appoint Southgate into the fold. But now he's leaving without anybody being around the fold. But I believe somebody is there. But if I mention his name now, John will say no, he disagrees. But I believe someone is there around that fold for now. For Southgate to say he's leaving with an open chest.
I think you've just spent a couple of times just you give the man an ounce of praise and then you pile on over 50% worth of criticism
I'm not criticizing anything.
For example, you say he has a high win rate compared to the last man who held down the job, talking about Big Sam, and then you also go on to tell us that they lost 60% of chances created. Is he supposed to get onto the pitch and score those chances created, or is that supposed to be the strikers? The chances created.
It's about your tactics.
I disagree. It's supposed to be the strikers up front and the forwards to bury those chances, and if they create those chances, it means that the tactics is working, and the tool at the position up front in the attack is not working, and that's what it is. So for me, if you ask me, Gareth Southgate has done a fantastic job since coming up the ranks, taking up the mantle and leading England into the future, which is back-to-back finals, a couple of knockout stages, which is something that was not common in England. Let's be truthful, let's say it as it is, okay? And he's done a fantastic job in that regard. Now, is there a couple of things that didn't pan out the way it did? Of course, we have a golden generation retiring. He didn't work with those players, and we'll never know what would have happened. But he's had a fantastic run. I think the media have enjoyed having their run at him, and I think now is a good time for him to go chill somewhere and, think about the next steps for his career. But he's had a fantastic time in charge, and now England get to move on. Now, just before I drop off, I want to debunk something he said, which is that he was in the system. He was talking with the FA about it taking over before Sam Allardyce was sacked. He was the academy manager, moved on to under 21, and he was still in the under 21 setup when that scandal about Big Sam was leaked, about him talking to people how to tap up and boycott the FA policies, okay? And he was let go. Simple and sure. There's no other saying he resigned. He was let go.
In the phone. What did I say? What
and there was no conversation. There was no
He
conversation about Southgate taking that role until after this man had been exited. Simple.
If
So he was doing his role in his capacity. And that's just what it is. Let's stop beating about the bush about you keep somebody in the role and then you're asking the person to be in the setup while you're now looking for somebody else. I totally dislike that idea.
Not all conversations are made media public. You understand? He's been in the setup on the 17th, on the 21st. Good. Do you think, okay, as an under 21 coach, do you think he was not given the chance to at least negotiate something up front when Sam Allardyce was on the job? It's a way. Okay, it's a way like saying Arsenal did not contact Arteta before he let go of the other man. It's as simple as that. Or saying Ljungberg was not being told he would replace Unai Emery. Or perhaps maybe one of these things didn't happen. Or you said Patrick Vieira was not told he was going to get the Vieira the Crystal Palace job. As always, see, even if it's not made public to the media, there's always a conversation somewhere around it. I'm not saying Southgate did a terrible job. He didn't do a terrible job. He did a good job, not a fantastic job.
Did a fantastic job.
He did a good job. A good job and a fantastic job is quite different.
It's a fantastic job.
Did a fantastic job.
If you put things in perspective, you are going to see that he did a perspective. If you just come, for example, now and you take 1 year or 2 years and you judge somebody, then you are totally wrong, because you need to sit down, look at 8 years in position, look at the last 2 decades before him, and you see that he did a fantastic job, because England are 10 times better off than where they were 2 decades ago. Go check it out. Check it out.
Okay, if you look at their record, what he achieved, he reached the semi-final of the World Cup, the quarterfinals of the World Cup.
Name me when last they reached semi-final in the last 2 decades.
Finals of Euros back to back. So if you look at him compared to other coaches, you might say he did a better job than
he did a good job.
I disagree.
Not a fantastic job. They are 2 different things. Doing a good job is winning. Doing a good job is getting
I think
to the
England fans will
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did a good job at Man United. I'll make instances with every other coach around him that has the same.
We will now see stories about longing for a Gareth Southgate. This is just the children of Israel all over again. You leave Egypt now, you are in wilderness, and you start longing for the land you lost. Okay, this man has taken you out of Egypt, brought you into a promised land, which is constant and persistent finals. Name me 2 back-to-back finals England have had before Southgate. Name me 2 back-to-back finals in the last 30 years. Name me just 2.
Okay, it depends on how you want to.
Quarterfinals of the World Cups.
The FA
in 2006.
The putting about the
2010. I'm naming. No, he said name 2. I'm naming 2. 2010.
In the last 2 decades, bro. And this is 2022.
I just mentioned one for you.
From 2000 backwards, name me 2 finals.
In 2006.
From 2000 backwards, name me 2 finals. You can't.
You said in the last 2 decades, and I'm naming you 2. The 2 World Cups that was played in 2006, 2002, 2006, 2010.
That is not 2 decades, bro. This is 2024 for crying out loud. Okay. Go back 2 decades and name me
2 decades. Now I'll go back to 1998. We're in that mix of the quarterfinals as well.
We're in these finals. I said 2 finals and 2 semi-finals. Name me 2 back.
And it's the World Cup finals, not the Euros or National League.
Name me back to back for crying out loud.
The new integrated National League has come, so they are now aiming for semi-finals, and you say, okay, fine, it's straight 7 semi-finals. When National League was not there, it was always the World Cup, and it was tough.
Okay, if you look, it depends on how they want to say it, because whether I like it or not, the FA wanted to keep him.
Sure.
He decided
like I said,
he decided to go.
I wasn't happy when he announced that retirement, or when he announced that leaving the sport. But I said if he was going to leave, someone else. This is the national team, not a club football where you can just sack and bring in somebody else, because competition is 2 years, and you need to give the person 2 years to build. So I think someone to come in, understudy him, and perhaps get to know how
this is not club football. This is not club football, where you have a Van Nistelrooy coming to understudy a Ten Hag for a possible exit in the next 2 years.
I don't know what the FA is trying to do, but they are saying that the hunt for new coach has started. So we have to look at, before they say that the next game for England is in about September. The National League is starting, so they are going to look at the option. They saying that they have to have a coach before that match is played. So we're going to follow the process and what England are going to do, who they are going to appoint. There are a few rumors here and there, Pochettino and even Klopp, the rumors are there, but all these things are rumors. You cannot actually tell what they are going to do. But within a couple of months, we have about 2 months for them to look for a coach before their next games. Okay, let's go over to transfers, because let's start with United. We have to start with Manchester United. Manchester United is Manchester United. Okay, Evans has signed a 1-year contract with Manchester. He extended one year with the club, so I don't think he's there to play. I think he's there to manage crisis in case what happened to them happened then last season. Then probably he can come in. But John, do you think that they should probably let him go, or he's signing a new contract with Manchester United? Is it the right thing for Manchester United to do? Because everybody is looking for them to get new defenders, and actually this old guy is his contract.
Okay, if you ask me, it depends on the perspective of the Manchester United board. If your perspective is to finish in the top 10 of the Premier League this coming season, fantastic move. If your perspective is that you want to win the league or challenge for the top 4, then you just shot yourself in the foot, basically, because he's not going to give you the same minutes as he did when he was under 30. He's not going to replicate the same stats he pulled in last season. And secondly, he's also going to be another person pegging down the bottom line of the club. If you look at the financial spreadsheet, okay?
I don't think he's going.
So for me, it's not taking a lot of money, but it's occupying space. Okay, when a couple of players left this last season, and the spreadsheet is breathing now. Maybe they are in the black. I doubt they are in the green. If you understand my drift, okay. So I think this is somebody you move on maybe into a coaching role, or you exit outright. Basically, there's nothing. Yeah, he's a club legend. He's been here. This is not NGO, as somebody I know loves to say. This is business. This is football. Okay, where are those? You look at this thing and you look at how come we had the class of '92, and in this day and age, we are looking out for keeping somebody in that role who is past his prime, and we have people on the youth setup who could be coming into the club that are not getting a shot. They are not getting opportunity.
Okay, class of '92.
So if you ask me, you let him move on. You bring in 2 star players in that defense that can start. Like, you are not coming in to come and learn the ropes. You are coming in to turn on the machine, because every player has a process. Every player has a mentality. You bring in those 2 people. They know how to defend. They know how to do their job. It's something fantastic when you have skillful players in your side that can just step into the pitch and put on a performance. Manchester United do not have that, and they need to get that thing fixed, because you are going to start this season now. They've already started losing pre-season games. They've already started losing pre-season games. I think there should be panic right now in the backroom staff, because going into the new season, we are going to see these defenses, these problems. We are going to showcase it again, and I'll call you back to this broadcast.
John, you call me back to this. The same thing you said about calling me back to the FA Cup final. This is the same John that said they will never. Now, that still taunts me in my dream. Like, you come into a finals where it's a 50-50 chance, but against Man United, and you're saying they will never. Now, Evans is not. Now you're telling me again that they will never get into the top 3 with the kind of players Man United are trying to bring in.
I did not say that. Like the likes of Evans. The perspective.
The likes of Evans.
Keeping Evans
in that final. Evans.
If you are here to,
John, calm down. I just finished talking now. I just allowed you to finish talking now.
Don't misquote my words, and don't take my words out of context.
Evans was in the starting lineup when you said they would never.
Context, because I said if your perspective
let me finish
is to finish in the top 4, then it's not a good move. But if your perspective is top 10, fine and good. That does not mean they will never finish in the top 4. So stop taking my words out of context.
The same John said they will never, after they got him, they will never win the FA Cup. Evans was in the starting lineup. Evans was in that team, and they beat Man City. Now look at the deal. Evans is an academy graduate. You know what the PSI is and the FFP is of the Premier League. Just leave the irrespective thing. You've just finished talking, and I kept quiet. I was looking at you mope around about Man United not having the right structure. John, calm down now. Make I talk. You go allow me talk now. You go allow me talk. Make I talk. Now, you see the likes of Lee Carson for Man City. He's earning his pay. What is he doing on the side?
Scott Carson, you mean?
I'm Scott Carson. I'm Lee Carson. You know, the new
goalkeeper. Yeah.
Okay, Scott Carson and Master. What is he doing on the side? Nothing. Relax. Go for golfing, and sit there. What is he doing? He's occupying the list. You understand? The list of.
So there's match.
So now, Man United would want to prompt on that list. See, when you say there's a rule, there's a way to bypass the rules. Man United are going for 5 defenders currently, or 5 defenders, and they'll probably sign 3 before the end of next week, or 2 before the end of next week. Until then, I just gave you a highlight of it. Evans last season is a fantastic player. We all saw him. Everybody thought he was coming to Man United.
Evans last season,
we all thought, calm down now.
Like a fantastic player, and you are using that analogy to refer to Evans, who had a piss poor performance for Manchester United last season, and then you are using a good manager in terms of Southgate. It shows that you are personally biased towards this man and towards
I am
this
not
player.
biased. It's
what it is.
I'm just saying.
You call a player that came in, that barely played up to 20 matches, that barely started up to 10, and you call him a fantastic season for crying out loud. Crying out loud. Is that a benchmark now that you are going to use?
Let me rephrase. If you're using double standard, I'm not using double standard. Let me rephrase. He was a good player last season. Coming in to replace players on injury, he kept some good saves. If you look at him, people thought he was coming to Man United to play golf and relax. But he actually put in the work. Phil Jones currently now, okay, Man United on the 17, on the 18 won the Premier League and the FA Cups last season. Who do you think is the coach of on the 18th? Can you guess the name? He's the same player everybody would rate as a flop in Man United, and yet he came from the ranks as well. Phil Jones, I mentioned his name. Phil Jones. He's on the 18th and he's helping them grow. That is where Billy Campbell learned from.
That's Phil Jones on a contract as a manager.
Now
helping the under 18 side, not as a player.
What makes you think when Vincent Kompany left for Anderlecht, what was he going there to play as? It was player coach. Exactly. Thank you. You coached it. Player coach. What do you think Evans is there for? He's there to guide the young ones that will be playing in the first team.
So he's not really coach, right?
He's not really. See, I will tell you this because you're an outsider. People will think because of what I said now, I'm a Man United fan. I am not a Man United fan. I'm not an insider, but I'll tell you these things because it's what happens in football. When you're past the age of getting in the starting lineup, you play there as a club legend. You play there as someone to inspire the young lads. And I think personally that's what Evans did. I don't know what you think about it. Maybe you think Man United are going to be playing Evans in the starting lineup, or perhaps dropping up
we are going to
use him. He's there to help the young ones grow. Okay. And if you look at the Man United side so far, how many experienced defenders do you have there?
How many experienced defenders do you have there?
Even other experience.
How many experienced defenders you really need? We saw this thing happen when Arsenal played AC Milan in the Champions League. Was it quarterfinals now? Where a young Cesc Fabregas, a young Theo Walcott, and a couple of other young players in the Arsenal side disgraced the AC Milan back four that was average age of almost 80 back then. And we are talking about this now being a good thing for Manchester United.
Wow. Back then,
wow.
It was, now look at it, back then it was the best defense in the world at the time.
Best defense
until they met an Arsenal side. Until they met the Arsenal side. Did they win the
Champions League that year? Did they win the Serie A that season?
They won the Serie A that season.
I disagree.
They won the Serie A that season.
Okay, guys, let's leave Manchester United because we keep debating about Manchester United. But remember, guys, we are live on YouTube at Both FM Sports. You can join us live and watch us discuss about Manchester United and Southgate. Okay, we have a few comments here on our YouTube channel. Malo Kitibi is saying, personally, I think Southgate did a good job, even if he was never. Even if I was never his fan. He's also saying that the criticism of him was a bit too harsh. Now he moved on to Manchester United and said, Emmanuel is also saying, truth is Manchester United should be sincere to themselves. They need a total overhaul.
Thank you.
They do not have 3 players that will stroll into Manchester City, Arsenal, or Liverpool starting 11. Okay, he has a point there. But let's continue with Manchester United because a forgotten player, Malaysia, is back in training. Now, the question here is that they have 2 left backs that are injury prone. You know, we keep talking about them buying a center half, but nobody's addressing this left back.
There's a left back position there. There's a left back right there. They had to let Brandon Williams go. They had to let Brandon Williams go.
Left last season. Let's
now,
we are talking about the people that
now. There is one currently there, Chris Amas.
He's a young player, right?
From the youth setup, yes, he's coming into the fold.
So
now, when we talk about players coming in from the Man United setup fold, people criticize. But he's coming in from the youth setup, and he's a good player. He's shown that
he's a good player. He's shown promise, right? For a Crystal Palace side or for a Manchester United side.
Chris Amas.
Yes, he's shown promise for a Crystal Palace or a Championship side, or a side that is going to win the Premier League or going to compete for top 4 or compete in the Champions League or any European title. For crying out loud, you do not call his name in that conversation. For real. This is somebody that comes in the setup, maybe plays 9 or 10 games in the season, maybe plays a couple extra minutes on the FA Cup or Carling Cup, and then he's had a fantastic season. But for you to put him in the conversation of Manchester United starting left back options, for crying out loud, that's absurd.
He's been there for the past 2 years, and the same thing that happened to Foden. And people say Foden is a player for the future, is a player for now and player for the future. Foden came in and understudied David Silva for 1 year and 6 months, for 18 months, and after that he went into the starting lineup. Chris Amas has been there for how many years now? 2 years, 24 months. Actually.
Please name me one player he's been understudying in 18 months.
There's a Luke Shaw. There was at one point a Sofian Amrabat who came from Florentina and played as a left back, even though he's a defensive midfielder. Now I could name other players.
I want to build a career as a left back, and my role model is Sofian Amrabat, a DM. What are we saying, for crying out loud?
He did a good job when he spent that spot.
Do you think that they should buy a left back because they have to injury prone? You can talk about a youth
setup.
It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer.
Injury prone.
It's a no-brainer.
For Luke Shaw. Malaysia just had one injury crisis in his full year of playing, and that was the one that took almost 1 season to recover from. Almost 1 year to recover from. Do you think he will continue to go on that injury spree?
Who's to say he doesn't? Because this is the Premier League for crying out loud.
I'm just saying he went on one injury case for almost a year, for 10 months plus. For 10 months plus. And he's back in training. This is the same player that said he's been suffering that injury but he hid it. In one of his interviews, he said he had that injury in PSV, not at Man United. He had that injury for almost 6 months at PSV, and he was playing with it like that. Having an injury, a knee injury, and you still continue to play with it. I felt like he was a Nigerian boy. At that time, I felt like,
is that medal worthy, for crying out loud? Is that medal worthy?
So calm down now. If you talk, I keep quiet. Let me explain things to you.
You are treating this guy
as though
he's the next eighth wonder of the world.
He's a good player. You need to see him play first before you start to criticize if he's good or not. You've not seen him play. The matches you've seen him play, he was fantastic or he was good. Let's not use fantastic because John has fantastic now. John will debug that word. And one of my persons we know said, "You should bury the word fantastic.
Yeah,
look for a synonym." So let me look for a synonym. He was an amazing player.
He's amazing, not better than fantastic.
Amazing player. Because when you see him at PSV, he was a great player, and he's at Man United. For the first 3 months at Man United, he was fantastic as well. He was good. Not good enough.
You know the funny thing about this Ringa Rose is
he was good. Now he went on injury.
At the end of the day,
let the season start.
If Real Madrid lines up, we know who's in left back. At the end of the day, if Barcelona lines up, we know who's in left back. At the end of the day, if City, giving me chill right now, line up, we know who's at the left back. For crying out loud, Manchester United going into a season, and you are telling me Luke Shaw and Malacia. Are you serious? I disagree. They need to sign one defender in that position.
Let me tell you now. And currently, Real Madrid don't have, or Man City don't have a proper left back.
They are playing Ake
and Akoji. They were not left back when they came from their clubs. They were not left. No, for Man United case, why is it now different?
Okay,
Ake and Akonji. For crying out loud.
Manchester United have entered the race to sign Jonathan Tah from Leverkusen. They are looking at the negotiation with Bayern Munich. They have Bayern Munich and Leverkusen are having this problem trying to negotiate, but Manchester United are trying to steal. We are talking about they need an experienced defender. They have been talking with De Ligt. they have been talking with other defenders, but now they have decided to focus more on Tah. Now, do you think that Tah Nonso will bring them that experience they need in that? Because he's an experienced player. Do you think he's going to be a good fit? Probably if they get him and get the lead. And who plays? With Martinez is still there, Maguire is still there, Lindelof is still there. So they are trying to get this now in that setup.
Let him go Bayern Munich. United.
Why? They don't need him.
You don't need him at
This is why I'm talking as someone who is, let me say, you are talking as a West Ham fan in the Premier League rather than talking as a pundit, talking about it. If you are dispassionate about the clubs and you are looking at the best player to help this team scale or the best player to move this team forward, you bring in a Jonathan Tah, and then you keep Lenny Euro. Simple.
Okay, remember guys, can 706-04853. You can call us and tell us what you think about Manchester United.
Since he missed was exactly what bounced back on him.
Okay. Hello? Lost that call. Okay, the number to call is 0706-0485853. So we are and hack. He kept that said they did a good winger. They decided that this guy should stay rather than letting him go. They concluded they said bygones pay bygones. They continued John. Now, do you think it's he wanted to go to Juventus at some point? Juventus were trying to get him, but now both of them have concluded he's going to stay at Manchester United. If you look at Manchester United, they don't have a proper winger. So why let's go about because of apology and no apology? So both of them have decided to continue. But John, do you think it's the great move for Sancho or Ten Hag to allow him to continue with Manchester United?
Okay, first and foremost, I think it's a good move for Manchester United as a club. Okay, we are talking about financials now, and we are looking at okay,
let's take this call. Good morning. Okay, we lost the call. Okay,
so we are talking about financials now. Okay, you need at Manchester United, having lost a couple of players in that position and could likely lose one more. They need all the wingers they can get. And right now, wingers are not selling for 5 or 10 million or 20 million. Wingers are selling for 75 million and above. And if you ask me, they do not have the layout to build the defense as well as buy in wingers, having just already concluded the striker. So it's a smart money move. You keep Jadon Sancho in the side, you get them to work out their differences, and then you use him for the season at best, and then look out for other options. So for me, for Manchester United as a club,
people are forgetting they have Anthony there. Our favorite Anthony.
One player cannot play two positions now. Do you get it? One player, Anthony, cannot play two positions. He can either occupy one wing at a time, and you need somebody else in the other wing. Now, if you're going to tell me that Rashford is going to play in the left wing, Anthony on the right, and then you have what's his name now, Rasmus Højlund or Zeski up front as a lone striker, fine and good. But then what happens to either Rashford and Anthony if anything happens in terms of injury? What happens when you need to take somebody off when you have an off game? Who do you bring into the wing?
What do you think about that move?
Who do you think is a credit?
Sancho said they've moved forward.
They moved forward, yes.
Ten Hag came in a tweet and said they've drawn a line. You understand the difference between these two sentences? We've talked and we've moved forward. Now you are saying we've drawn a line on that conversation. It means they drew the line before Sancho left for Dortmund.
I disagree.
So it's up to next season, and you're asking who did Sancho or who does Man United play if there's no Rashford, there's a Garnacho in that position? Who does Man United play if there's no Anthony, there's an Amad Diallo in that position? So you can't tell me now that there are no players to play. There are players to play in every position for Man United. So it's up to you now to say if you want to criticize. Amad played last season. He got the winning goal against Liverpool. You saw the performance. His first game in the Europa League for Man United against AC Milan. His first game against AC Milan in the quarterfinals of the Europa League. He got a goal in that game. Anytime you give him an opportunity, he's scoring you goals, he's creating you better chances than Anthony. And you're telling me now that he's not good enough, or perhaps Foden might be better than him. I agree if Foden is better than him, but he's a player that you could look out for now and the future. He's 22. So why not tell me now that Sancho can just find the exit door and you have other players to come in? There are other players from the youth setup as well. There's a Whitney.
You like this youth setup very
Name
well.
me, in this conversation.
Whitney came into the Premier League last season, 2 games, and the first thing Bruno told him was in his first game, I'm going to get you a goal. And look at his hustling spirit. He was chasing after attackers. And this is the mindset you need from every attacking position in Man United right now. Someone that could run 125 minutes, not just 120 minutes or not just 90 minutes. Someone that could run at the defenders for 125 minutes of the game.
So good move for Sancho.
Good move for Ten Hag if Sancho is being let go.
But they're not letting him go.
That is what people think, because Ten Hag has said he has drawn the line as Sancho. Sancho is saying they've apologized. Now and Ten Hag's speech came after Sancho's tweet, which means there's still something to be said about it. We're not sure yet. I think if there's a better offer for Sancho at any moment in time, Sancho will be let go.
I think this is an issue of perspective. Let me say perception now. Okay. You can read one sentence and you can draw one perspective or perception about that sentence. But if you said they buried the hatchet and Ten Hag is saying the line has been drawn, it could also mean that they had a conversation and he's told him clear cut, this is where the line is. If you do this type of stuff again, you're out. That doesn't mean he's out now. Okay, drawing the line means he's told Sancho these are the boundaries. This is. I remember the same scenario when Mikel Arteta was having issues with Aubameyang at Arsenal. He told him point blank, look at what you're supposed to be. You come into training early, you show up, you do XYZ. If you
market Nico Williams, now Arsenal and Chelsea are looking to get this player. If you look at the Chelsea setup, they have a Modric that have not performed in 1 year, 6 months. The guy has, I don't know, he has. But the funny thing about this Modric guy is that he has a clause that if he wins the Ballon d'Or, I don't know when he's going to win that in his career, but let's say that he has a clause there. If he wins that, they're going to get something from the transfer. But I don't think it's happened. But Chelsea is now looking at that left wing because it's a problem for them. For Arsenal, they have a Martinelli, they have a Trossard, so Arsenal might be looking at him with one eye. But for Chelsea, Arsenal might be looking at him with one eye. But for Chelsea, they need him too. But now, if you are Nico Williams, or if you're an agent of Nico Williams, and you want to move, do you move to Barcelona, Arsenal, after we know so, or Chelsea?
None of the above.
None of the above.
None of the above. Bros, Barca, let's say the way it is. Barca are owing at the time, so maybe they saw some magic money to pay off some debt. Unless that, I think Barca is not a good option. You're being paid well, you're being treated well by Atletico Bilbao. Why move?
They don't play Champions League football every year.
It's not about playing Champions League.
They can't even win the league. He can stay there for 10 years. He might not even win.
His elder brother plays for there and plays for Ghana. Does Ghana win the AFCON every year?
I'm saying the league.
Does Ghana qualify for the Champions League and for the World Cups every year? No. Does Atletico
Bilbao? So you're saying he should adapt to an average or a mediocre lifestyle at
It's not
Atletico
a mediocre
Bilbao.
lifestyle. He has chosen to play for Barcelona. He has chosen to play for
Bilbao
and the Spanish national team. I think he should stay in Bilbao, grow from there. Maybe in the next 2 years.
He's a champion. He's tested what it means to lift a trophy. And you want to tell me that he should go back and
take that mentality back to Bilbao.
Okay, do you want it to stay at Bilbao?
Take that mentality back to Bilbao.
Let's be frank.
But you go to Barca, you're being old.
If he stays at Bilbao, likely for him to touch that La Liga is like 0. Let's be frank.
True.
For him going for Chelsea might not be a struggle, but probably have a chance to win the Premier League. Arsenal has a chance to win the Premier League. Barcelona has a chance to win the La Liga. But staying at Bilbao, John, who do you prefer? If you are his agent or his father, where will you take him to?
I've been waiting for this opportunity and I want to do it justice. Okay, so now Barcelona, Chelsea, or Arsenal?
Arsenal, yes.
At Arsenal, it will be an upgrade to either Trossard or Martinelli. And it will now mean, do Arsenal want to have kind of a rift within the squad of him coming in, being given game time? How do Martinelli and Trossard deal with that?
Okay. Good morning, guys.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, basically, I think I have an issue with Nato this morning. I don't understand. Nato is on another level.
Okay.
No, I thought talk about the Nico Williams issue. You know, I can also say none of the above. If Nico Williams is my brother and he's called me to tell me in the family meeting that he wants to stay back at Bilbao, the first thing we'll do is to disown him as a family member, then he will end his football career. That's the original one. Say your village people are, and it looks like it also is Nico Williams' village people that does not want him to go forward in life. You've just won the European Championship with a forward line of Lamine Yamal and Nico Williams. The ideal option for Nico Williams is to go to Barcelona. What every wise coach will do now is the Spanish wingers who won the championship is Lamine Yamal and Nico Williams. Take it over to Barcelona, Lamine Yamal on the right, Nico Williams on the left. Lewandowski there or whoever wants to play his strike force, and that is it. If he's not going to go to Barcelona because of financial issues, he can't go to Real Madrid. Real Madrid is full. Then I think his next best option should be Arsenal. You cannot bench a European winner in Arsenal. So somebody has to pay the price. It might either be Martinelli on that left-hand side. Then Arsenal needs a stronger bench to win the league if they want to win it. So not saying he should stay back because his brother plays for Ghana and plays for Bilbao and they don't plan to win anything. Every footballer wants to win something. So I believe Nico Williams, this is his only time now to leave that club if he wants to leave. He might play this season and he will not play very well, and that is over. So if you go to Barcelona, number one choice for me, or he goes to the English Premier League and play for Arsenal, he cannot go to Chelsea. Chelsea has too many players, like Inoso said yesterday. They have Michael Jackson there, they have a lot of other players who are dancers, Modric, who are useless players. So, but that is my own suggestion. Southgate did a good job. Nobody should blame Southgate. United do not need a new left back. Malaysia doesn't get injured according to Noso every single time. Luke Shaw cannot be his assistant. Malaysia starts the game for Manchester United. But they need at least one more defender to be added to that side. And see, United needs a total rebuild. Like it or leave it. They've gotten their forward line correct. They need to get their midfield correct. I don't know the reason why they gave Johnny Evans 1 more year extension. It doesn't make sense to me. I can't understand it. Then Sancho staying is the best fit for everybody right now. The guy played very well last season for Dortmund. I see no reason why they cannot come to terms with him staying back in Man United and playing one more season or two before he leaves. So basically, those are my choices or my suggestions for this morning's program. Good job, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bowie, for that contribution.
Okay. Now, so you said that you are the village person now. You don't want this guy to progress. But I was surprised when you said that you should not move, stay at Bilbao. Who stays at Bilbao? It's like telling somebody to stay at Southampton. Because you don't want
to win trophy.
Yes.
You want him to win trophy.
You don't want him to win trophies.
You want him to win trophies. And Chelsea and Arsenal are not the right place to go.
Okay, he should go to Barcelona then. You saying that he shouldn't go anywhere. That's
yesterday on this show, I said he might be going to Barcelona if Barca sees magic money somewhere.
Okay.
If Barca finds magic money somewhere, he should go. But if there's no magic money from Barca anytime soon, he should stay where he is.
Okay, Arsenal have rejected the first bid from Fulham for Emile Smith-Rowe. No, we talked about it yesterday in the show, if he's going to move, but I think that Fulham is keen to bring him. No, let's just talk about it one more time, maybe in a minute, John. Do you think he should go or he should stay at Arsenal and fight?
If you ask me, he should stay.
He should stay and fight?
Yes.
John, so what do you think?
They want him. He wants to fight for his place. Let him fight.
Let him fight.
I've said this before. If Odegaard or Saka is not available, who plays in those positions? If Odegaard is not available, there's a Fabio Vieira
who
plays
Nelson
there
too.
And he's not really.
He didn't really play well.
He doesn't really cement his place in that position if he's to play in that position. Now, in the right wing forward, if there's no Saka, Odegaard goes there. Who replaces Odegaard in the midfield? Still the same person, Fabio Vieira. So I think either ways, Fabio Vieira is coming into the squad, but it's not a good option enough. It's not enough. It's not a good option enough. So I think Smith-Rowe should stay and fight if he wants to stay and fight. But I think the best option is to go to somewhere else, not Crystal Palace, not Fulham.
And go and play.
Not Fulham.
Okay, but not Fulham.
Not Fulham.
Okay, not Fulham. Okay, remember guys, we are live on YouTube at Volt FM Sports. Okay, we have one more comment about Arsenal. Emmanuel is saying Nico should go to Barca. He won't start at Arsenal. You know, Arsenal has a lot of left wingers. He's also saying Smith-Rowe should stay and let Vieira go. That is also option, depending on what the coach is looking for. But I think all of them should stay, because you need all your players fit to fight Manchester City. If you now get injured and you now have to bring in an academy player, it doesn't make sense. But for me, all of them should stay and everybody fight. If you fight, probably you pick from some. It happens. You might play 1 or 2 games and you pick from, and
you can pick from when the coach is playing you. When the coach is playing, you pick from, not when you're seated on the bench.
But you can't displace anybody now.
Like the likes of Calvin Phillips. You're sitting on the bench all through the season. There's no form to be picked anywhere. You can't pick from training grounds. You need to be picked from when you're given 30 minutes every game.
I don't think Calvin Phillips is a fair example for this situation. But
no, you said pick from. I'm just saying when you're on the bench full season.
That on this Arsenal side now, Emil Smith-Rowe is a better replacement for Odegaard in that number 10 role than Fabio Vieira. Fabio Vieira should be playing maybe alongside a Declan Rice or a Partey, with Smith-Rowe replacing Odegaard in that position. Odegaard, if he has to replace Saka, he plays in that wing. Smith-Rowe plays in that 10. Simple.
Okay, Southampton is trying to buy Ramsdale. We talked about it in the show that Ramsdale or Raya. Now everybody, it's obvious that Arteta is now choosing Raya. He is the number 1, but Ramsdale is supposed to be England number 1. I feel that if he had played 1 more season with Arsenal, he will be starting in these Euros that ended. But because he stayed in the bench, he didn't start. Pickford started. Now going to Southampton I don't understand it. But do you think he should move to Southampton, or he should stay at Arsenal and fight Raya? And also,
there are only 2 goalkeepers.
Arsenal
is trying to bring in a 3rd goalkeeper in Bentley from Wolverhampton Wanderers.
They will sign a young player, a player from Ajax.
There's a Bentley from Wolverhampton Wanderers. There's a goalkeeper that is going to be joining the youth setup from Ajax. Now there's Ramsdale, and there's a Raya. These are the only 2 goalkeepers we know at Arsenal. One should be playing the Premier League and all of that, just like what they do in West Ham United, where Areola is playing the Premier League and Fabianski is playing the Europa League. One should be playing the Premier League and all of that. One should be playing the Champions League, because there are many competitions to be played next season. There's the FA Cup, there's the Carabao Cup, there's the Champions League, there's the Premier League. So Araya cannot play all 60 matches. It's not possible. Either ways can Ramsdale play all 60 if he's going to be starting. At some point, you need to mix it. Now, and I believe Bentley at 31 cannot come in and play a starting lineup ahead of these 2 in the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup. So I think what Ferguson used to do back then in Man United was Van der Sar for Premier League and Champions League games. Any other goalkeeper can play the FA Cup. And why one academic goalkeeper can come and play the Carabao Cup? You get at West Ham the same thing. Fabianski, Areola for last 2 seasons. Then maybe another goalkeeper.
If you look at the FA Cup, it's a fewer games. How many games do you play there? If you look at the Carling Cup too, or the Carabao Cup, it's a fewer games there. Everybody wants to be number 1. Champions League and Premier League.
You play at least if you're getting to the finals, because it's a knockout game, you lose, you're out. If you're getting to the finals, you're playing at least 10 to 15 games.
If you lose at the first round of the FA Cup,
if you look, the FA Cup, the thing is, the Premier League teams, big teams don't start from the first round.
No, they don't. That's what I'm saying. You don't play from. Yes, you start from January.
Now, from the 5th round to the final is about 8 games.
Okay, if you lose that
5th round, then it's over for you.
That's the problem.
But then, even at that, you let's not forget that you have other games. Let's say somebody picks up a knock, somebody is not available. You have other games that you just need to see, and maybe at the end of the season or wherever.
Okay,
you can also get those extra chances. So if you ask me, Arsenal just have 3 goalkeepers. If you ask me, let's forget about the Bentley guy who is over 30, sitting on the bench. Maybe he's like a Scott Carson, But looking at it, it's Ramsdale, Raya. These are the 2 credible options you have. So it's going to be both of these guys playing 2 competitions apiece, with Bentley or the new guy, the 18-year-old guy, coming in as a make-weight in either of those matches.
You should stay and fight.
Yes, if you ask me.
Okay, guys. Let's talk about Real Madrid, because yesterday they unveiled Mbappe, and he's going to wear the number 9 shirt. He said everybody comes to Real Madrid and say that it's my dream to play for Real Madrid. When I was 5, when I was 6, I was dreaming. I was dreaming of Real Madrid. In fact, I used to see Real Madrid for my dreams. Now he has officially signed for Real Madrid. That he was presented to the fans yesterday. Now let's talk about Mbappe. What do you think he will bring into this Real Madrid side? Because I won't say that they are a complete side. But adding Mbappe to that side is going to be fire. What are you expecting for them now? So what are you expecting them to do?
Unfortunately, he's coming when the telepathic Toni Kroos is no longer available in that side. Because I believe if Toni was in that side, he would be averaging at least not less than 50 goals a season in all competitions, not less than 50, because this is the same Toni Kroos that will see a pass.
I disagree.
Will see a pass and spot a run and send that pass in the direction of that run, or perhaps give a signal for a run and spot and send a perfect timed pass to the runner. So if he's in that side and Toni Kroos was there, I think he might be averaging at least 60-70%, 70 goals, 50 goals a season, 40-50 goals a season. So I think Toni is no longer there, and he's going to bring something different, because this is the same player that likes to build up, join the build-up play. And every attacker in the Real Madrid side, every midfielder in the Real Madrid side joins the attack and joins the midfield as well. So he's going to be a +1. Though Thierry Henry will say that he has nothing, or he has a lot to prove, because he didn't win the Champions League before coming to Real Madrid. He has nothing to prove. He's a good player. He's a great player.
I disagree.
For the French Ligue 1 side, for PSG, and he coming into that side, he's going to bring something different to that. He's going to bring a mix. You know, they call fleet formation in that front. He's playing alongside Vini, who does not play as a top 9. He doesn't play as a top 9. Forget he's wearing the number 9 jersey. He doesn't play as a top 9. Jude Bellingham doesn't play as a top 9. Rodrigo, that's supposed to be a striker, does not like to play as a top 9. So these are 4 players that will be playing the attacking option, and yet none of them are top 9. So it's going to be a fleet formation for them, where the strikers or perhaps the defenders don't know who to hold on to, and defenders will be running profusely confused, not knowing who to hold on to, because
John,
there's going to be a mix.
I disagree.
What do you think that he will bring to that team?
Okay, if you ask me, I think that Kylian Mbappe coming into Real Madrid is going to have to solve, number one, a big conundrum, which is selection. If you ask me, he's coming in, look at Real Madrid last season, winning the La Liga and winning all they've won. You look at the one big hole in their setup. You have to look at the target man up front, the number 9. And Joselu was covering in that role with spectacular goals coming in. You understand? Now, if you put things in perspective, you see how things line up. Kylian Mbappe struggling towards the end of his time at Paris Saint-Germain to hold down a singular role in that side. Being played up in center, being played up on the left, neither of them working out or holding on. Coming into the national side, being played in the center, refusing to stick to that role and moving in and out of position, creating problems for the France national team. Okay, now, coming into a Real Madrid system where you have a functioning Rodrigo, Vini pairing with Bellingham behind them and somebody up front. Let's say Rodrigo takes a back seat now. Where is he going to play, and who is he going to?
The coach has to figure that one out.
Yes, because the coach has to figure it out. Because if you have
him to fit in those 3 players somehow.
Yes, that's where the issue is. If he's going to play in the center, he's going to struggle, because he's going to struggle. And then if you put him down the left, whoever you are taking out of that place, you are going to cause problems. So one way or the other, you are going to step on toes.
Let's see what happens.
If you notice, Vini does not run in from the left all through. At some point, he goes to the right. That's why I said a fleet formation, where everybody is switching positions. I believe Kylian Mbappe excels that way better.
I disagree.
He excels that way better than spotting as a top 9. I've said this before. Maybe John is trying to disagree. He doesn't play well as a top 9, so he's going to be excelling.
That's all I'm saying. If he doesn't play well in a top 9 and he plays from the wing, then who are you going to move from that wing?
Also, see, these players in Real Madrid recently are not players you say can spot the top 9 position, can cement their place in top 9 position. They can't.
So are you saying now that there's still a vacuum in the top 9 position?
Cannot cement his place, and Joselu has been given a contract, but yet they chose to sell him off to Saudi.
He chose to go to Saudi Arabia.
Which means the only person that could play in that top 9 position right now in Real Madrid is Rodrigo.
I think for me, who is going to one? They're going to suffer all these things, because
he's the only person that was going to, because he's the only one. He's the only one that played as a top 9 from his club before now.
Okay, guys. Before we go, let's talk about the team of the tournament for the Euros is out. So in goalkeeper is Magna for goalkeeper. Then right back is Walker, Nkaji, Saliba, and Cucurella for centre backs. For the defenders, in midfield they have Fabian Ruiz, Olmo, and Rodri as midfielder, and Williams, Musiala, and Yamal. That makes all the top 11 for the concluded Euros tournament that happened. I think it's a fantastic. What do you think about this top 11?
Fantastic tournament, fantastic players in those positions, and kudos to them.
Okay, they have a first nine, the Musiala. That what do you think, Noso?
The same first nine we'll be complaining about. It's good. Best. This is the best lineup use. This is the best unbiased lineup. But come on, six Spanish players.
What were you expecting
in the lineup?
Come on
now.
What were you expecting for crying out loud?
Come on now. Not about winning the tournament.
England, I wouldn't have this conversation.
Even if it was England that won it, you can't have 6 players from one team.
Okay, guys, this is how we are going to be ending today's show. Thank you for joining us on today's show. Remember, guys, we are live on YouTube Monday to Saturday. Our handle is at Vote FM Sports. As Vote FM Sports. Join us every day, Monday to Saturday. Thank you for joining us. My name is Godwin. I'm with the guys in the studio. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a lovely day.
Where music meets the voltage.
Take a break and enjoy the show.
Sports. Alex Iwobi gets the ball out to the left-hand side. The delivery comes in. Oh, it's a goal! Entertainment.
3 minutes from 3.
News and politics.
Enugu State Governor has sent us the electricity bill.
Gospel.
And let them have dominion. The kingdom of God is within people.
Odenibo.
Awesome programs exclusively on
Vote 104.3 FM.